Hey everyone, welcome back to Sajguru's Talk. Today we are going to discussing about one of the CPU scheduling algorithm in operating system. First one is FCFS scheduling algorithm. Before discussing about the scheduling algorithm, what do you mean by CPU scheduling? It is a process used by the operating system to decide which task or process gets to the use of CPU at a particular time. Now, we'll take one numeric problem to solve this FCFS algorithm. Here, the three different type of processes are taken, P1, P2 and P3, and its appropriate arrival time and burst time are given. What is meant by arrival time and burst time? You can see my previous videos. Now, this FCFS scheduling algorithm. So here the FCFS scheduling algorithm is one of the simplest scheduling algorithm and it is a non-preemptive scheduling algorithm. Non-preemptive. After a process begins its execution, it will continue until it finishes. Now, the characteristics of the FCFS can be categorized into four types. One is the non-preemptive, FIFO, fair but can cause long waiting times, simple implementation. Non-preemptive, as we discussed earlier, after a process begins execution, it continues until it finishes. And the second one, FIFO, the task that comes first is performed first. And third one, brief processes might need to wait for lengthy ones to be completed first. So this effect is known as convoy effect, which is a drawback of FCFS scheduling algorithm. And the third one is simple in implementation. So now we will discuss the working principle of FCFS algorithm. So first one is arrival order execution. Second one, it follows the queue mechanism. Third one, it is a execution order. So the first one, arrival sequence execution. The CPU arranges processes based on their arrival order. And the second one, queue system. It utilizes by the employing a FIFO queue. And third one, execution sequence. The task that reaches first obtains the CPU first. So let's apply the first come first serve scheduling algorithm to the given processes. In the step 1, we are going to sort all the processes based on the arrival time. So the table comes like this. In the second step, we need to perform calculate the completion time with the help of the Gantt chart. So at the 0th millisecond, the first process comes as P2. So P2 arrives first. And it executes for how many seconds? Burst time is 3 milliseconds. So the 3 milliseconds. Now the P1 arrives at 2 milliseconds, but P2 still executing. So P1 starts at 3 milliseconds and execute for how many seconds? 5 milliseconds. So 3 plus 5 is 8. Now the P3 arrives at 4 milliseconds but must wait for P1 to finish. P3 starts at 8 milliseconds and execute for 4 milliseconds. So total is 12. Now we can calculate the completion time. The completion time of P1 is 8 milliseconds. So the completion time of P2 is 3 milliseconds. The completion time of P3 is 12 milliseconds. Now, so here we need to calculate the turnaround time. So the turnaround time can be calculated as a difference between the completion time minus arrival time. For the process P1, the turnaround time can be calculated as 8 minus 2, which is 6 milliseconds. For the P2, 3 minus 0, 3 milliseconds. For P3, 12 minus 4, 8 milliseconds. In the step 4, we are going to calculating the waiting time. Waiting time is the difference between turnaround time minus burst time. So, for the process P1, the waiting time can be calculated as 6 minus burst time 5, which is 1 milliseconds. And for the P2, the turnaround time is 3 milliseconds and burst time is 3, which is 0. And for P3, the turnaround time is 8 minus 4, which is 4 milliseconds. In the last stage, we are going to calculating the averages. So the average turnaround time can be calculated as summation of TAT by number of processes, which is 17 by 3, and the value is 5.67. Likewise, we are going to calculating the average waiting time. So which is the summation of waiting time by number of processes, 5 by 3, which is 1.67 milliseconds. So finally, we have to find the turnaround time and waiting time, and as usually we find out the average turnaround time and average waiting time. Thank you for watching, and keep subscribed for the further videos. Thank you very much.